I'm Iman Jamil, the Executive Director at Youth Diplomacy Forum, and I warmly welcome all our participants and our respected speakers. It is the first session of our one-month online internship program, jointly organized by Youth Diplomacy Forum and Ex-Chinese Association, with a focus on China's role in regional and global development, CPAC, BRI, and most importantly, Pakistan-China's relationship. The first session will focus mostly on understanding dynamics of Xinjiang region, China's role in sustainable development of neighboring countries. Our session is divided into 3 parts, followed by the lecture given by our speakers, panel discussion, and at the end there will be the question and answer session. So for the opening remarks, I would like to invite Mr. Nasir Khan, the president of Ex-Chinese Association and the former president of Islamabad Chamber of Commerce and Industries. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. So, thank you, everybody. Let's just start my speech. Distinguished guests and community leaders, Assalamu alaikum, ni hao, and a very good evening. My name is Nasir Khan. I'm a businessman, industrialist in Islamabad for the last 45 years. I have a steel factory by the name of RK Steel Mills, Islamabad. And I have been, me and my elder brother he was also the president of Chamber of Commerce in Islamabad, Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Islamabad. And my elder brother was also from the Federation of Chamber of Commerce and Industry of Pakistan. Now, basically, I'm an Uyghur. My parents were there, settled there, and they were born there. You can say my motherland is Xinjiang. So, but I was born here. They migrated in 1940s, and we were all brothers and sisters. We were born here in Pakistan, and since then, my father was also a businessman. He had also textile industry. And we are doing we made this steel industry in 1976. And since then we are in it. This program is regarding the Xinjiang, we say. So in that matter, I would say something. It is a matter of fact that China is a rich, multicultural and multi-ethnic country with more than 5,000-year-old history of human civilization, where people of different ethnicities are living in a unified and integrated manner. Historically, Xinjiang has been home to different ethnicities from very ancient times. It played a very important role to become a gateway and medium through which Chinese civilization opened to the West through the ancient Silk Road. Xinjiang has been always been an integral part of China after the Republic of China. After the People's Republic of China was founded in 1949 under the leadership of Communist Party of China, Xinjiang entered a new era of prosperity and development equally shared by all ethnic groups. Today, under the visionary leadership of President Xi Jinping and with his futuristic approach and program of huge reforms and with very clear line of command, Xinjiang is set on a highway of peace and common prosperity to make the Chinese dream achievable. Xinjiang now enjoys a social stability, fast economic development, and ethnic harmony. Education and training measures taken by the local government proved to be very effective, which have not only effectively prevented the infiltration of religious extremism, but also provided employment skills. Historically, Xinjiang was a passage for land transport and civilizational contact between Asia and Europe. The famous Silk roads linking the ancient civilizations of the East and West went through this vast land. Its geographical location has resulted in Xinjiang's distinctive feature, coexistence and integration of diverse people and their culture. Before the founding of New China in 1949, Xinjiang had a natural economy mainly comprised of farming and animal husbandry. Local development was stagnant with low productivity levels and underdeveloped production modes. There was not an inch of railway, no large-scale farms or large fertile fields. Privately owned small workshops were what signified industry there. The people led a life of poverty and hardship. This is before the Chinese Revolution. Since 1949, particularly after China's reform and opening up in the late 1970s, Xinjiang had entered an era of rapid economic and social progress and enhanced comprehensive strength, with the local residents enjoying the most tangible benefits. Proceeding from the state development strategy and the fundamental interest of people of various ethnic groups, the Chinese government has paid great attention to the development and protection of Xinjiang. It has made it a national basic policy to help the frontier area develop their economy for the common good and wealth, and work out a series of strategic decisions to promote Xinjiang's development. Xinjiang has been given priority in the national strategies launched in 2000 to develop the western regions. I have a lot more to say, but in the meantime, I'll just share my experience. In 1985, when we were among the youth, there was a delegation invited by the Chinese government to Xinjiang in 1985. And at that time, I was the deputy leader of that delegation. And when we went to Gilgit, and we had to proceed by road there. So there were land cruisers from Chinese side. They came to pick us up on the border, and then this is 1985. After the border, the road was very thin, somewhere metal and somewhere very rough, and in some places there was no road at all. It was just like we are going through some desert, and it was raining. And in the way, this night we stopped at first station was called Kashgurga, and there was a hotel over there, but it was newly constructed and it was not complete, so we had to use for washroom the outside, the old, you can say the old methods. Very stonish type of it was like that at that time. And the next day we started our journey again, and there was from the border to Kashgar, I couldn't see any petrol pump on the way, and there was nothing from the city, and then up to Kashgar it was all for
Yes, sir, you can continue now. Sir, you can unmute yourself because your mic is muted.
Multazam bhai, please unmute Mr. Nasir's mic. No, it's okay, sir.
You can hear me?
Yes, yes, sir.
What I already said, you heard it?
No, sir. We heard it until you said there was no petrol pump on the roads.
Oh, yes, yes. So it doesn't matter. We reached the Kashgar, and there the mode of transport was at that time we were astonished, because in Islamabad, we used to live in Islamabad. Islamabad was almost the same as today. Very little difference. But in Kashgar, the mode of transport was a donkey cart. I haven't seen any car, any private vehicle in the whole city in 1985, just not very far away. And I'm just telling this because now we went to visit again 3 years back before COVID. And I couldn't recognize that Kashgar city and Urumqi city. It was totally different. I asked my colleagues, where is Kashgar? They said, you are in Kashgar right now. It was so different. They have development is so rapid development, and the standard of living was so upstandard. It was really, even now the standard of living is even better than us here as we are living here. So it's just a comparison. I told you this story just for a comparison. What was Xinjiang just 30 years back and what is now? It is, I think you can compare it with the most developed cities in the world. You can compare Kashgar and Urumqi with the most developed countries, even in the Europe. Because I've seen Europe also, and I've seen America also. You can compare it with any city of America and Europe. Now, again, it was just my experience, my personal experience. Over the years, Xinjiang was made full use of its own advantages and focused on economic restructuring and changing the modes of economic growth, infrastructure, construction, and environmental protection, along with improvement of people's livelihood and basic public services. So as to keep the development of Xinjiang in pace with the national development and to ensure beneficial interaction between the development of southern Xinjiang and that of the northern Xinjiang. In recent years, Xinjiang has witnessed rapid growth of its industry, agriculture, and service sector. As industrialization quickens, industry has replaced agriculture to become a pillar economic sector. Opening wider to the world, Xinjiang is one of the Chinese major gateway opening to the west. It is also an important passage on the new Eurasian continental bridge bordered by Mongolia, Russia, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Afghanistan, Pakistan, and India. Xinjiang has the longest land borders among all frontier provinces and autonomous regions in China. Since China's reform and opening up in 1978, Xinjiang had experienced a change of being closed or semi-closed to the all-round opening up. This calculated campaign in Western media to undermine the Chinese government's enormous efforts to protect ethnic equality and misrepresent the historic progress that has been made on human rights in the region. Their goals are to discredit China, interfere in China's internal affairs, restrict China's development, and destroy stability and prosperity in Xinjiang. As Xinjiang has achieved moderate prosperity in all respects, together with the rest of the country, and embarked on a new journey of building China into a modern socialist country, all the people of Xinjiang will enjoy a happier and more prosperous life. And we saw it with our own eyes. When 3 years back, before COVID, we visited China. We saw it with our own eyes. Even these Uyghur people, they were very happy and living a very good life over there. Everybody had their own houses to live. I think in Xinjiang, no Uyghur is without his own house. Everybody owns a house there in Xinjiang. The PRC regards equality, unity, and common prosperity for all ethnic groups as the basic requirement for managing ethnic affairs and handling ethnic relations. It established a system of regional ethnic autonomy in areas inhabited by ethnic minorities in compact communities. By 1954, Xinjiang had established 5 autonomous prefectures and 6 autonomous counties. In 1955, the Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region was founded. The establishment of these autonomous divisions effectively granted the democratic rights of people in the Xinjiang to be master of their own affairs and started a new era of socialist ethnic relations characterized by the equality, unity, mutual assistance, and harmony. Xinjiang ushered in a new stage of economic and social development and better protection of human rights. Xinjiang attaches importance to preventing terrorism at its source. It has carried out preventive counter-terrorism measures, including the establishment of vocational education and training centers to protect basic rights. For more than 6 years since the end of the 2016, there has been no terrorist incident in Xinjiang. Since 2016, not a single extremism has not shown in Xinjiang, the whole of Xinjiang. Not a single case has been reported. The infiltration of extremism has been effectively curbed, and the right to life of people of all the ethnic groups has been fully protected. Today, Xinjiang is ready to become the center of stage of development and progress through achievements in science and technology, industrial revolution, and with the instruments of peace and prosperity, with the great hard work, strong determination, extraordinary devotion, and with purity of intentions of its people, which is unprecedented in the history of the world in a very short span of time. In my opinion, the whole developing world, especially the immediate neighbors nations like Pakistan, can take extraordinary benefits from Chinese achievements and development model of Xinjiang region. I just want to say that what China has achieved in the last 70 years, you can say independence is 70 plus, but the real progress started from late 70s, you can say from 80s. And in that small period, where has China gone from where to where? And seeing this, you cannot imagine what will be China after 50 or 70 years. What will be China? Nobody can imagine. Development is in a very fast pace over there. Lastly, we, the ex-Chinese Uyghur living in Pakistan, also firmly believe that our motherland China has made tremendous progress under the great visionary leadership of President Xi Jinping. And this journey of success will continue for further progress of Chinese nation and the nation of the whole world as well. Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much. Thank you.